Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook, and I'm here to talk about the latest episode of Supergirl Season 6. This is actually the mid-season finale. It was called Fear Not, K-N-O-T. So not Fear Not, but Fear Not. Anyway, of course, it picks up where they left off last week, where Brainy and Dreamer had managed to get a sample of Kara's blood from the past so that her DNA could be extracted so that they can sort of trick the Phantom they have in captivity into finding her in the Phantom Zone. And it turns out that the top of the tower, you know, the Team Supergirl tower that they're using now, is a spaceship. So they take off in this spaceship, they track her location, they open a portal to the Phantom Zone using the Phantom Zone projector, and they enter the Phantom Zone. I was happy to see that at least Dreamer suited up in this episode, whereas we didn't get to see the Flash in his suit this week, which was dumb, but at least she's suited up, and she looks great. And Brainy has his suit on, which is cool. He has a cool suit. I like that. That's what we want to see on these shows. We want to see them in their suits. John also suited up, but he didn't do his alien face, which, whatever. But at least he's in a superhero suit. I guess the only one who wasn't was Lena, because Alex is in her outfit, but it's so lame that I don't even consider it a superhero suit. Anyway, they're in the Phantom Zone, but they get hit with turbulence. And it turns out this made it possible for the Phantom that they have on board to get loose, and he hits them all with fear attacks. And Alex's fear attack makes her think that the ship is being attacked on the outside by phantoms and that it's her fault, but she wants to find Kara herself, so she goes and puts herself in the airlock so that she can leave the ship and find Kara. And Jimmy Olsen's sister and Dreamer are trying to convince her not to do that, but then they cut from that, and then it starts back all over at the previous timestamp where her dream sequence began, with Dreamer and Lena having a pretty cool talk. They had a nice scene. Dreamer is so gorgeous. Have I mentioned that before? Because I just want to make sure I say that. But it turns out this time Lena is under a fear attack. And her nightmare involves a creature from a book of fables that her biological mother used to read her. And it's kind of like a sea serpent, Loch Ness monster type thing. You can't really tell because it's kind of liquidy and it's clear, kind of like Terminator 2, but transparent. It was pretty cool too, because at one point she's backed up into a corner against the wall and she turns her head toward the camera and the monster's head comes into focus and is like right up against her face, kind of like an alien. So it was like an alien homage thing. So that was pretty cool. But at this point, we're a half hour in and we've barely even seen Kara, which stinks. We saw her at the beginning. I should have mentioned that. For a brief second, she's telling her father, you know, they're trying to get away from the explosion of the anchor building that they found in the previous episode, and they managed to get away from it, but then a phantom shows up and attacks Kara, and so now she's having a fear attack where she's just down in the dumps about, oh my God, we're doomed. My friends are gonna fail. We're never gonna get out of here. But then a half hour goes by before we see her again, and they go back to her, and it's kind of the same thing. She's having this conversation with her dad. Whatever. He's trying to, you know, talk her out of it, whatever. That's the scene. It's kind of lame. Then we go back to the ship, and it's time for Kelly's nightmare. Kelly Olsen, I guess that's her first name, Kelly. She's having her nightmare where the other people on the ship have been taken over by the phantoms, and they're sort of saying, you're going to be next, we're going to get you. And she's like, no, and she's running. And one of the moments in this is Zombie Alex talking to her and saying these terrible things. And Zombie Alex is pretty scary, I have to say. I wouldn't want to run into Zombie Alex in a dark alley. But of course, this dream ends and it resets again to just before everybody got attacked. And now they're going to give Dreamer a nightmare. And I'm thinking, how are they going to give Dreamer a dream? Like, how does that make sense? It'd be like trying to pull a dream thing on Freddy Krueger, which I guess they did in the movies. But what? Like, it's bizarre. Anyway, she has a weird dream, but then she seems to be out of it. And she's not, it seems like, because she has a conversation with Brainy where he's very obviously trying to seed her with doubt about her abilities, which is exactly what a phantom would do in a fear attack if they're trying to make Dreamer fearful. So she's still in her dream. And then there's a breach, and the ship is going to be, like broken apart. And she realizes, oh, I can fill the gap with my dream energy, but it's too late, of course, and she fails. But then it resets again. And now they're going to try to give Brainy and John these nightmares, or at least Brainy. And it's not working because he's too smart. And John is using his mental power to overcome it as well. So they're able to stay clear-headed. But it's funny because they keep showing Brainy being attacked by balloons and saying stuff like, you balloons are not real. And even if you are, you're just bags with air. I shouldn't be afraid of you. And he's doing this, but he's in control of himself. He's not falling prey to the nightmare. He's just sort of acknowledging, yes, I see you balloons, but I'm not afraid of you. I'm still going to do what I need to do. And he's swatting them away. It was pretty funny. But he manages to stay in control. And because of that, they're able to right the ship, as it were, and continue to get Kara out, or try to get Kara out of the Phantom Zone. And at this point, we're 50 minutes into the mid-season finale, and there's been almost zero Kara, let alone her behaving as Supergirl, in action, which is doubly annoying because, okay, it's 6 episodes in or whatever, and for the first 5 episodes, we didn't get to see her. That was annoying enough. Now it's the mid-season finale. We're not going to see Supergirl for months now. And it's going to be that long before we even see her in action as Supergirl this season. In the final season, I don't know what they were doing. It's just a bad move in my opinion. But like I said, they're out of the dream and they're trying to get Kara. Now it's 9:55 and it's like, I don't know. Kara ends up being able to come out of her nightmare because her father talks her down and talks her out of it, just as her friends are arriving to get her out. And of course, Lena has built a yellow sun bomb that she sets off, which immediately gives Kara her powers back. And of course, it also makes her dad feel super, but he doesn't really know what he's doing. So Kara gets her powers back and she grabs her dad and flies up into the ship and is reunited with her sister and the rest of Team Supergirl. Yay! Finally, 6 episodes to get her out. But as the ship is leaving the Phantom Zone, we see that Mixie has tagged along. She has grabbed onto the hull of the ship and is flying to Earth with Team Supergirl. This is not good. She's going to cause trouble when she gets there. But that's actually good because it'll give the show a plot and a villain kind of thing to go up against, rather than this dumb Phantom Zone thing they've been dealing with. We have to wait till next week for that. But this was a good episode. It would have been nice to actually see Supergirl be Supergirl for more than 2 seconds, especially given everything I just said. It's the mid-season finale. It's the last season. But we didn't get it, so we have to just soldier on and see how the rest of the final season goes when it comes back, after Superman and Lois comes back to finish out its season. So sometime in August, we're going to get more Supergirl. And I'll be back with a review when that happens. I will also be continuing to review Superman and Lois. So for now, I'm going to get out of here. I will say once again, peace and long life.